Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, going to be doing an update to a story I did a couple days ago about a guy who discovers that his best friend since the third grade and his wife were hooking up. Okay, and a bunch of you guys let me know in the comment sections as well as my email that there was an update to the story, so you guys asked for it, so here it is. And as a quick recap for you guys that didn't by any chance see the video, basically this guy finds out that his best friend from the third grade and his wife were hooking up. And it all started out because basically his buddy's wife suddenly died in an accident and he's going through some serious depression and all that. And being a good friend, he wanted to help him out. So he had his wife talk to the guy because she obviously dealt with that kind of, her father died when she was young and she dealt with the same type of grief in a way and all that. And next thing you know, they're spending more time together and there's a lot of red flags. And this guy's obviously a classic nice guy and just, when there's smoke, there's fire. But he was ignoring it for too long. And then when he was obviously starting to call out some bullshit that was going on, both of them were gaslighting him and pulling all his bullshit. And then one thing led to another. His suspicions were too high, and he discovered they were hooking up and cheating. And that's where pretty much where it left off, where he just left the scene. They were calling him and texting him, and the wife's so sorry and all that bullshit. And he's out of there, and now he's at the stage where he's figuring out where to go. Talk to the attorney and all that. So I'm going to pick off where he left off. So it starts off, and by the way, the title was, "My wife, 27-year-old female, cheated on me with my best friend, 26-year-old male." So it starts off, "First off, I want to thank you all for your support and words of advice. You all made this time in my life somewhat bearable. Some of you shared your own stories and made me realize that this is something I can come back from. I had many thoughts about self-deletion, but I think I'm past that now." Well, thank God, bro. Don't do that. Nobody's worth it. Here we go with the sirens again. "Thank you so much for caring. Many of you were asking for an update, so here it is. I don't know what to make of that. There are many of these kinds of emails, but I wanted to share that one because it left me confused. I definitely don't know the person I married. What do you guys make of it?" And I'm going to post a link in the description, guys. You can click on it, and you're going to see where he posts a link to some letter that she wrote him. He's a few things crossed out, but you can check it out on your own and make up your own minds about what she had to say. But regardless, what's done is done, and it doesn't make a difference what she says at this point, in my opinion. He says, "As many as you guys suggested, as well as family and friends, I contacted a lawyer and met up with her yesterday. I gave her all the details, and she seems to be very motivated to help me come out of this financially whole as possible, given the circumstances." It's good he hired a female attorney. I have heard definitely more than a few times that if you get the right female attorney, if you're a guy and you're getting divorced and you get the right female attorney, it definitely can be advantageous because, let's be honest here, a woman is going to know a lot of the bullshit that she and her kind are capable of, and it will definitely be helpful to have, that type having your back. Just be careful that divorce attorneys make their money by keeping the drama going on and on and on. That's how they make their money. So just be careful to this guy and any other guy getting divorced that the attorney doesn't try to keep stirring the pot and fanning the flames to keep those billable hours going, okay? Just be aware of this, guys, if you're in a situation like that. He says, "I still love my wife dearly, but I don't know if this is something I can get over. I received lots of messages from Dave too, but I don't want to read them. I often switch from sorrow to rage, and I don't know how to feel right now." That's totally normal. Totally understand. Your best buddy since the third goddamn grade was banging your wife. How else do you expect? I mean, it's totally natural. Rage, crying, all that, that's understandable. No shame there, bro. You got to go through the emotions to get through this crap. Just don't let them see it. And, I said in the other video that, people could say who's worse, his wife that he's been with for like 10 years, what she did, or the best friend from the third grade. Who's worse in the situation? In my opinion, the best friend. Because as the saying goes, bros before hoes, okay? And just, that's about the worst thing you can do as a guy. A guy to another guy, or let's be honest, a woman to another woman. But it happens. And just like I said in the other video, you got to pay attention, guys. You got to pay attention to what people do, not what they say. That was the big lesson of the previous story and continuing on here. Always watch people's actions. Always look for red flags. There's smoke, there's fire. It's unfortunate you always have to be on your guard and in a way sleep with one eye open, but that's unfortunately, human nature can be pretty ugly. And people can be, you may think that they're your family or your best friends or your love, whatever. You got to always keep an eye open. Trust but verify, as that saying goes. Should I try to see if reconciliation is possible, or should I just end this marriage now and save myself more heartbreak? Well, you all know my answer on that one, and I get that he still obviously loves her because this is all new, but regardless, what she did to you, banging your best friend, and in the video before, guys, we talked about how she obviously didn't like the best friend before. She didn't like the fact that he was obviously a womanizer before he got married and all these other things about him. He was a classic bad boy, and then he was damaged because his wife died. And these women are attracted to the bad boy types that are damaged and all that. Meanwhile, this guy's a good guy, a nice guy, and he got them together, yes, in terms of her trying to help him out, but still, no guy deserves this. Should I try to see if reconciliation is possible, or should I just end the marriage now and save myself more heartbreak? Save yourself a whole lot of heartbreak and embarrassment. My family knows everything. Apparently, Sue confessed what she had done to everyone. I've been away from everyone for more than 2 weeks now, and I still don't know what to do. The pain still feels fresh. Every time I close my eyes, I can see nothing else but Sue and Dave together, and the pain doesn't seem to be lessening. This shit's going to go on for a while, but it will get better. Things always will get better, because instead of him always thinking about it all the time, eventually he'll get to the point where he starts thinking about it a little bit less, and a little bit less, and a little bit less. But the bottom line is this, is that she's a cheater. And you saw what she did, the best friend and all that, and basically, he lets this go. It's a strong possibility that down the road, she'll do it again. Not to mention the embarrassment factor. He's never going to trust her again. He's always going to be wondering every time she's on her phone, who's she texting? Every time she goes out, where's she really going? That's no life to live. It really isn't. And this guy, he's a good guy, and he was foolish for him, obviously, getting his wife to go hang out with his buddy alone to help console him and help him. But regardless, he is a good guy and doesn't deserve that. I know most of you are saying to just divorce, and I would say the same thing too. But things aren't that black and white when you are the one in the situation. I understand that, and very few things in life are black and white, okay? Some things are, but most things are gray. But in this situation, and again, I'm not the one in his situation, but I've been cheated on in my life when I was a lot younger, and I know how it feels. And I also understand human nature. And the odds are, it'll happen again. Given all this new info, I'd appreciate any advice, particularly from people who've been there, betrayed spouses and waywards. How did you manage to move past this? Is it even possible? Right now, I'm almost certainly going to move on with the divorce, but I just need reassurance I'm making the right decision. You are, dude. You're getting a second chance. The guy's 27 years old. He has got his whole life ahead of him, okay? He can obviously heal from all this and start over. I'd recommend that he doesn't in any way, shape, or form rush in any relationships, because a lot of guys, they get hurt really badly. They got to then go get a new girlfriend or whatever pretty quickly to help heal the process. No, heal on your own. It's kind of like when somebody has a dog or a cat after many years and the dog or cat gets sick and unfortunately dies. People rush out immediately to get another dog or a cat to kind of get over that pain, And don't get me wrong, I'm all for adopting pets and, taking care of them, but still, they never get over that initial grief. But with this particular situation, just when it comes to people, you got to take your time. Okay, you got to go through the motions of just getting through it and all that, and you will. And then, but even then, after this experience, I really hope he now pays attention and he really does a serious screening process with any potential women he gets involved with. I would say never get married again, but that's my opinion. I've said that more times than I can count in this channel, knowing how things are in today's world. And given how things go with the divorce, even though she was in the wrong, and even if he has a really good attorney, he still could get royally screwed, even though it's her fault. It all depends, obviously, where he lives. I think he's in the United States, so it depends on the state he lives and all that. But I wouldn't stay with her. I'd move the hell on. And as for the best friend, never had anything to do with that asshole again. Excuse me. I've read your comments and felt I needed to add this. I was told by her, as well as family and friends, that she has been living with her sister the past few weeks. In one of her emails, she explained that she has only spoken to Dave once since I found out and went full no contact with him. Her mother called me and apologized for her daughter's behavior via text. I didn't pick up her calls. She said Sue is an individual counseling at the moment. Well, that's really nice that her mom is reaching out to him, but nobody can blame this guy. Nobody should pressure this guy on his decision. And I think it's good he's taken a couple weeks to get the hell away from everybody, process this, go through things like that, and then go forward. But it's funny how basically in these stories, guys, that I hear about so many, and I know you guys have heard these too, the girlfriend, the fiance, the wife, she cheats. She's hooking up with whomever. The second she's caught, all of a sudden it's Niagara Falls with the waterworks, and that he didn't mean anything, I'll never do it again, and all that, and drops that guy, boom, like that. And it's like the guys always wonder, why the hell did you do it in the first place? What the hell's the matter with you? But again, the guy's being logical, and he's speaking to a woman whose operating system is based on emotion. In another one of her emails, she said she was never going to leave me for Dave. She has feelings for him, but she doesn't love him. Huh? Who gives a damn about her feelings? That's a stupid thing for her to say. Dave is supposedly leaving soon, but is apparently holding it off until he speaks to me face to face. There's a lot of other stuff I haven't addressed, and I'm probably leaving out some details, but some of my family and friends are saying I should just talk to her and move on from there. That's where I am at now. Now, I'm not sure if they mean talk to her and move on as in move on and continue the marriage, or if they mean talk to her, let her say her piece, you say your piece, and then split up. I don't know what they mean, but I guarantee you he's got people in his life, probably family, that says forgive her and move on in the divorce, in the relationship, and just continue on. How things are today, I just think it's a big mistake. He absolutely should not do that, in my opinion. But the guy can do whatever he wants. But again, knowing what I know, bad idea. But again, given his personality, the way he talks in the email, in this story, and how he sounds to me like he's a classic nice guy, and may ultimately end up going along with what other people think he should do. And that is the ultimate classic trait of your typical nice guy, the vanilla nice guy. They always put everybody else's needs before them. They listen to everybody else but them. Okay, they don't usually stand their ground for what they want. I hope this guy obviously does what is best for him. Okay, he may, if he goes back with her, this could happen. Maybe not now, but it could happen in 5 or 10 years if she gets bored. You just never know, and he has to go through this all over again. And it's not going to be fun constantly wondering where she at, who's she talking to when she's on her phone texting, all that. And he's not going to get the idea out of his head. And every time they try to hook up, he's going to imagine his buddy banging her like as it was described in the previous video. So, and as for the old best friend, that guy's toast. That guy's a piece of trash. And he described him as obviously not the most model citizen in the previous video. So, no losses there. But it sucks, but this type of thing happens. This is why I do videos about this guy, so you're aware of this. Learn the lesson. Always pay attention to what people do and not what they say, because they're not always going to match up. What they do is their true nature, what they truly mean. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. That's the update. I know y'all wanted to hear it. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.